All right, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Mosar.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Brother. Yo, brother, Shema all.
Right, right. Hey, today we opening up this good book right here, talking about how America is gonna fall. Because if you didn't know, yes, it's in the Bible that America is going to fall. Specifically, tapping into Jeremiah chapter 50. So I'm gonna let the brother Shema get in there.
Right? First and foremost, I want to get all honor and glory, right, to the Most High, Yahweh, right, who the world calls God, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All praise to the Most High. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters out there, right, enduring, keeping the faith, right? And as you see the title, America will fall, right? You see a lot that's going on. Missiles getting sent out. Venezuela, they going to war. You goddamn, they talking about some peace, but you got Trump still bombing, sending bombs to Ukraine, right? And blowing up, you know, Venezuela, the cartel. It's madness, man. A lot of madness going on, but America will fall as all of, the Most High, right? By Shem Yahushua. Right, so we're gonna get it kicked off, right? We're gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1. Right, because America will fall. They can't, they say, peace and peace treaties, and we're not gonna go to war, and there is no World War III, and that's a lie. That's man. What makes you think you can stop what the Lord is gonna do? Right? Let me get a quick precept real quick. All right. Right, this Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. The Lord said he's going to do all his pleasure. His counsel shall stand. Man's counsel will not stand. It has to be of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for something that even to prosper, right? So something that even to reach success, it has to be in the spirit of the Most High. If it's not going to be longevity. It's not going to succeed. It's going to die out. You may start it and you may not finish it because it's not of the spirit of the Lord. So them saying that it's not going to be World War III, think again. Right? So I'm going to read that again. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. The Lord would do all his pleasure, man. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, right? He sends down the holy angels and they get things in order out of the mouth of the Most High, right? Let's get another one. Psalms 115, verse 3. It says, but our God is in the heavens. He have done whatsoever he have pleased. Let me read that again, the second witness. He's going to do whatever pleases him. If he wants destruction, that's what he's going to get. Judgment, that's what he's going to do, right? To give Israel the kingdom of his will, that's what he's going to do, right? So let's go back, not go back, but let's get into it. Jeremiah 50, verse 1. It says, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldees by Jeremiah the prophet, right? So this is speaking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and it's also talking about modern Babylon, which is America. But first, let's get Amos chapter 3, verse 7, because this is the secrets, the mysteries, the visions is only revealed to the prophets. Right? Let's get that. All right, quick precept. Right, Amos chapter 3, verse 7. It says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So as you read throughout the whole book, right, out of the prophet, you see that the Lord revealed his secrets to the prophets, right? And visions, destruction, right? Read first Esdras if you haven't. Read second Esdras, right? Read Zephaniah, Zechariah. All these prophecies you see that they prophesying of what the Lord has showed them, right? And writing it down, right? So it is speaking about America. Let's get Revelation 17, right? The modern Babylon, right, is America. I'm gonna read that verse 1 again. It says the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldees by Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nations, right? It says against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldees. That you know it's talking about the ancient Babylon and modern day, right? Which is America. Let's get to that. Revelation 17, right? So lock it. Because America will fall. I mean, it's built on bloodshed, robbery, death, witchcraft, sorcery. So what makes you think this place is going to last? It's built on slavery. What makes you think this place is going to last? I mean, think about it. Everything that you like to do is literally not of the Most High in this place. Revelation chapter 17, verse 1, it says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven veils and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornications, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine for fornication. Right? This speaking about America, right? It says, verse 1, it says, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore. Who's that great whore? America. Because she commits spiritual fornication. She sitteth upon many waters, right? And when you read about in harlot, she sitteth upon many arrows. This is America, right? Sitteth among kingdoms, right? Nations, right? Let's read verse 2 again. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? And all the festivals and activities and the things of America, people do those things. The philosophies, right? They drink all those things. They're drunk, right? You got damn Elam celebrating Halloween. You got Moab, he's celebrating Christmas. They dressing promiscuous too. They know they ain't not supposed to be dressing like that. Ishmael, they eating fried chicken with mild sauce. They going off, you know. They just going off. They drunk, right? So this speaking about America. All the kingdoms of the earth have been influenced by America. Every nation, right? Every king, whatever, you know, prince, noble, whatever, they've been influenced by America, right? Verse 3, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Verse 4, it says, and a woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of a fornication. Because America like to cover themselves as this great country when we know that they're not. You know, they like to portray themselves as beautiful. There's freedom here. You could be whatever you want. They literally saying if you could be whatever you want. You see, it's a lot of it's, they, the, him, how. It's a lot of, you know, pronouns, verbs, and name callers in this place. You could be whatever you want, man. Right? It's madness. So just due to the other nations being drunk, due to whatever you want to be here, America will fall. Right? The history that they put out. Right? Let's get Habakkuk chapter 2. Right? All right, so I can bear with me. Habakkuk chapter 2. Right? Verse 5. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5, right? It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. And we know who ruled America, the so-called white man. They very proud, right? It says, neither keepeth at home, because he's a fugitive and a vagabond. He goes to every place, every kingdom, and take it over, right? He has no home. It says, really running from his judgment, it says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So everybody is drunk off the politics, the doctrines, the religions, the lies, you know, as what I said the previous time, right? Let's go to drop down to verse 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that's evil. Just imagine somebody just, they know you don't drink that much. They know you never had it before, and they keep forcing you to drink. Come on, man, turn up, man. You good. It's okay. That's literally what Esau has done. Come on, man. It's okay, man. Drink this. It's all right. It tastes good. Got a nice bitter to it. It tastes like juice. Don't believe somebody when they say it tastes like juice. Right? So it's spiritual as well, because people believe everything that the so-called white man puts out. They land on the moon, a meteor, what they say, a meteor or a meteor is coming. They say all type of madness, man. Right? Vampires and all this other stuff. People are drunk off these things, outer space, and they drunk off these things, all the lies. That's what they like to do. They like to promote lies, man. Right? So let's go back to Revelation 17. Right? Just proving that the fact that everybody believes what he puts out. Christianity, with John the Baptist, Islam, and all these religions is nothing but lies and to deceive the Israelites. Right? Revelation 17. Let's go back to that. All right. Revelation 17, verse 5, it says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great. See that? See that? So Jeremiah is literally prophesying against the Neo-Babylonian Empire. And also on another fold, he's prophesying against America. And these things our forefathers want to see. All these things that's going on. Right, you got a point.
All right, now you was just in Revelation 17, right?
God.
Now, I'm going to jump over one chapter, because one thing about it, man, everything is written already. It's over with. It's done. It's like, it's nothing. Listen, ain't no Joseph finna pop up out of nowhere, interpreting the dreams of Donald Trump, and he gonna tell him, oh, okay, you got 7 years of this. This what you got to do, Donald Trump. This how you say. It's not gonna happen. It's not written. This place is finished, and I'm gonna read that. Let me read Revelation chapter 18, and we can just start at verse 1. It says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Now tell me what other country this could be referring to. I mean, America is known for having their nose in everybody else's business. Hey, they have so Donald Trump is having a trade war with China, right? Why does China own American farmland? How does that work? You know, during the transatlantic slave trade, you had other countries, other races, like the Jewish man. They had their hand in slavery. Everybody got their hand in it. I remember when I was in high school, they used to show us in history class the old propaganda pictures from the 1920s and the 1930s and all of that stuff. And I remember it was a picture, I think it was a picture of Africa in this particular piece of cartoon propaganda, but they were showing how France had their hand in it, England had their hand in it, Spain. This is how it always go. And I wish I was on the laptop. I wish we still had the laptop, but even when you look at before America was formed, America was divided up. Spain, France. That's why so many of the a lot of places in America have French names, Spanish names. Los Angeles. That's not an English word. That's a Spanish word. Las Vegas. Think about these words. Down in where the French owned a lot of stuff at in Louisiana. Hey, that's where a lot of the what is they called Creole that they speak down there. Something like that. I think it got like a little a touch of French in it because the French used to own that place. I'm gonna read verse 3 again. It say, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." All nations is guilty, just like America. Even in America, right? Guess what? If me and Shema were all riding in the car, I'm driving. He decide, I see one of the he see one of the ops and he shoot at him. Guess who going to jail? Both of us. I can't say, well, hey, I just drove. I didn't do nothing. You think they trying to hear that? We both going down. Attempted murder. It's over with. We cooked. It's the same thing with America. Everybody who had their hand in it, they get just like when when you used to get in trouble, you go to your grandma's house, you and your cousin them jumping on the bed broke. She ain't trying to hear none of that. Oh, it wasn't me. Everybody getting a whooping. Everybody. Line them up. Y'all know how that go. Most High say the same thing. Everybody got to get it. Let's read this. I'm going to read verse 3 going down in verse 4. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the whole, and it's become, Salaki, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Y'all know how much money that America made off of slavery? I think it was like what, $2-3 trillion they said that they made with a T, trillion. Just imagine that. Now, all them nations who was buying that cotton that our ancestors was picking, they guilty too. All them nations who was buying them strawberries, who was buying them oranges, who was buying that tobacco, they knew what was going on over here. They didn't care. All they knew was, hey, America got that good cotton. And hey, they came and spent that bread, man. You know? Let's read verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. And that's why I said it's written. There's no say, there's no Joseph coming. They can try to read Genesis 37 as much as they want. They can try to do whatever they want, try to pray to who they think is God. But there's nobody coming to save America. It's finished. Look at the economy, man. When we grew up, you used to be able to take you, your 3 cousins, and your little brother into the gas station with a $5 bill. Everybody can eat. Let you go in the gas station today with $5 trying to get anything more than a juice, and they're going to look at you crazy. Ain't no more 25-cent chips. Ain't no more $1.69 gallons of milk. Ain't no more $3 bread, loaves of bread. It's over with. Look at the gas prices. You paying $3 for regular gas now. Well, in the 70s and wherever, they used to pay like what, 50 cents a gallon? That's over with. I read something that said the US dollar has lost 97% of its value. 97. What you used to get for $1 will now cost you $1.97. Think about that. Imagine if your rent went up 97%. Imagine your rent was 1,000. You get a letter in the mail that say, hey, this month you got to pay $1,970 to stay in the same crib. That's crazy when you put it in perspective like that. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquity. Right? I'm gonna read this last verse, and then you got it up. Man, Revelation 18 get good. Okay. Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Hey, get back is a godly thing. If you don't know, now you know. The Most High is all with get back. That's the point of America falling in the first place. Do you think there's no way out there, Shema, there's no way that they think that they finna get away with what they did to us? There's no way. Hey, Ruby Bridges is still alive, bro. Think about that. If you don't know the story of Ruby Bridges, hey, look it up. 6-year-old girl getting spit at, getting attacked by grown men and women. She's still alive today. It wasn't that long ago. There are some people who are still alive who remember what happened. They remember what they was doing the day Martin Luther King got killed. They remember when Malcolm X got killed. There are people alive to this day that remember. But they say, hey, never forget 9/11. Why should we forget what happened to us? Would you forget if somebody took your baby and used them as alligator bait? Would you forget if somebody cut one of your loved ones' pregnant stomach open and stomped on the baby in front of? Would you forget something like that? So why would the Most High forget if he can see everything? Right? I'm gonna get this last precept speaking on that, because they really think that the Most High can't see it. They think it's dark outside. The Lord can't see me. That's what they think. This is Sirach. Y'all know I was going there. It's Sirach chapter, what I'm looking for. Sirach chapter 16 and verse 17. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people. For what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures? And that's how people think. Come on now. It's how many people? How many people they say is on the planet?
They're damn saying like billion, like they got a number though. They're
yeah, it's like 6, 7, 8 billion, something like that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And people think, oh, come on now. It's 5,999,000,000 other people that God got he ain't focusing on me. That's what they think. They actually believe that. But hey, it said, like the Bible said, the Lord is known by his judgment. They gonna see when America fall. What you got out?
Come on, brother, bringing it out. They definitely gonna see when America fall. Yeah, this place is madness. Hey, what last week? Esau, damn so-called Spaniard, he seen the signs. He said, man, excuse my, I'm watching my language, but he said, man, something with this HAIT, basically saying this, that's a lie. We didn't do that. Yes, y'all did. You know that. That's the only reason why you're trying to deny it. You can't even prove that it didn't happen. So you saying we just drawing, be having bad images of ourselves, and we just like that's madness.
We got a wild imagination.
Yeah, we just drawing slavery. That's madness, man. All right. That's madness. Yeah, this place gonna fall, man. Let's get back to it though. Jeremiah chapter 50, right, verse 2. Because hey, America is that great whore, man. Spiritual fornication. That's why the Lord gave us tools to be able to Because let's bring it out real quick. Because they're that enticing woman, that woman that lays down with any man, and she's looking for the righteous man to take hold of. Right? What's that? What I wanted. Right? It says, right? I do want Sirach. I got a lot of precepts. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 2. All right, we go to Sirach. Do the spread. All right, Sirach chapter 2. All right, verse 10. Because the Lord gave you tools. Got to have, use wisdom, to be able to stay away from America. Right? Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. Right? It says, when wisdom enter into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Right? Right? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, it shall keep thee to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, who leave the paths of the uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness. Because that's all his people here. And that's what Esau wants you to do. He wants you to leave the paths of uprightness and to walk in the ways of darkness. And how they do that, they entice you. They entice you with the arcades on the weekends, on the Shabbat. They entice you on them, at night. Anything of this place, they just entice you. We don't have to, break it down and name them. You know exactly the things. I mean, it's 2025 AD. They've been doing it they've been doing it since this world was here, right? So verse 14, it says, who rejoice to do evil, right? The so-called white man rejoice to do evil. Our own people rejoice to do evil, man. They happy to go out late at night on Shabbat. They happy to get drunk. They happy to, fornicate. They happy to do all these things that's not of God. It says, and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked. And the so-called white man, instead of us learning from our father, instead of serving our, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we serving Esau. So you moving in the way of Esau, the profane, profane fornicator. You doing things that's not of the Most High. Your ways are crooked. It says, and they forward in their paths, right, to deliver thee from the strange woman, because America is that strange woman, man. She entices you, right? Read, it says, even from the stranger which flather with her words, right? So she like to, hey, this place entice you, man. You surrounded by nothing but demons in this place. And it's annoying. If it ain't you, best believe it's definitely spirits around you. Right? So let's go back to that Jeremiah 50 and verse 2. It says, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, right? Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Mordok is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces, right? That is the god of the Babylonians, right? Baal and Mordok, right? Means rebellion, right? That was the god of the Babylonians. And the Lord is saying that he's going to destroy the idols and the gods of Babylon, right? Which is speaking about America on another fold. So the Lord is going to destroy all the ideologies and the gods of this place, man. Damn that. What's that? Mecca, the Ishmael, that damn stone, which is Baal. They're going to destroy that. All the gods of this world is going to get destroyed. The gods of Babylon, right? The gods of America. The Lord is going to break them in pieces, right? Let's get Baal the dragon, because that's who Babylon was serving, in the ancient world, right? And there was priests for those gods. Just how there's priests, the Levitical priesthood, the Aaron's seed line, they were priests until Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. Hey, they had priests of Baal, right? To their gods. Baal, you know, everything that we do on the righteous side, they do on the left hand. Right, let's go to Belly of the Dragon. Belly of the Dragon. Right. Right, Bell and the Dragon, verse Bell of the Dragon. What I want, verse 8. Verse 8, it says, so the king was wroth and called for his priests and said unto them, if he tell me not who this is that devoureth these expenses, ye shall die. But if ye can certify me that Baal devoureth them, then Daniel shall die. For he has spoken blasphemy against Baal. And Daniel said unto the king, let it be according to thy word. So as you see, there's priests for Baal, man. Right? As we priests under Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Melchizedek, we're priests under that order. Right? All praise to the Most High, kings and priests. There's kings and priests for Baal and these gods, man, of America, which is off. Right? Let's get Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Right? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? But against principalities, against powers, right? All these spirits that's in the ancient world, they come back. You know, the spirits that's in the ancient world, they still here. Those spirits are back on the earth, right? So America is big into worship and demonic spirits, man. They big into that. You know, the witchcraft, the sorcery, they really big into that. And I know people probably seeing it, you know, that movie. I mean, it's literally letting you know of all the things that they do, all the sports, you know, the Olympics, all that is on sorcery, you know, and witchcraft, demonic spirits. You're praying to a spirit that's supposed to, or you praying or sacrificing to a spirit that's going to give you better abilities and talents. You know, that's off, right? You got a point. You going, yeah.
I was walking through a neighborhood with somebody like 2-3 weeks ago, and I was walking. You know, it's Halloween time, so they big on all type of weird stuff right now. Right? I always thought it was weird that grown people play dress up for a holiday, but anyway, that's besides the point. I was walking past this house. I'm in a suburban neighborhood, and they had what was it? I think it was like a zombie holding a half-eaten baby, right? And this is the decoration that they had in front of their house. And I was when I was talking to him, I was like, now people see this stuff as all fun and games, and it's just whatever. But look at what they displaying to you, right? What is festive or funny about eating a baby? You know, I mean, the celebration of death has been made fun and games. When has us ever, as a people, ever played around with death? When have we ever been like that? When can you go to a family reunion and just sit there and crack jokes about stuff like that? About people dying, and not us. Esau, they do that. You're not gonna go around Big Mama and them and cracking jokes about dying and killing. That's not funny. But yet and still, when Halloween come around, it's cool because it's the holidays and you know all of this other stuff. But just sit back and really think, how weird is that? That there's a holiday that celebrates death. People get mad at Young Boy for making the music he made, King Von, and all these other people. They talk about how evil the music is. What's the difference between that and promoting the eating of babies? But because it's Halloween time, I mean, ain't that weird? Think about that. And they say, well, it's not real. It's just okay. Let's use something else. Let's say I had something on display in front of my house joking about kidnapping kids. Would that be funny? Let's say I had something in front of my house joking about RAPE. Would that be funny? Let's say they had a holiday. Oh, it's just for the holidays. I'm just celebrating the holidays. Ha ha ha. Would that be funny? But like the brother was saying earlier, because it's that wine. When you drunk when you drunk, everything tastes good. Everything. Everything tastes good and nothing is too expensive. Anybody who has got drunk before, you know what I'm talking about. Everything is fun. That it calls it wine for a reason. And anybody who's ever drank wine, you know it sneak up on you. Wine is not like regular liquor. Wine, you won't even realize you drunk when you off of wine. You just start feeling good out of nowhere. You start wanting to dance. You start telling people how much you love them. That's the wine of America. They have convinced the people, right? Our people, to joke about death, to dress up like death. That's what they convinced us to do. But you gotta,
Yeah, you keep sipping that wine, everything start to be rainbows and butterflies and blue jays flying around. And then next thing you know, the Lord comes as a thief in the night. Yeah, that's scary, man. Yeah. Yeah, see that? Yeah, so America, they, they big on witchcraft, man. So let's read Ephesians 6 and 12 again. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." There's spiritual wickedness in high places. This place is literally, it's the shadow of death. This is the land of the dead, man. We walking amongst the dead every day. When you go to work, you walk outside, you go out to eat, with your wife, you're amongst the dead, literally. You know, nothing but spirits around you, and you can't go nowhere. You're in the wilderness. There's nothing but beasts and creatures and damn, weird serpents you never seen before. You know, and a serpent very wise. Our serpent is very wise, and there's not that the Lord created so many species. You would think that it don't get no wiser than this for a creature can be more wise than his own kind. You know, it don't get no crazier than that. And that's what you see in a spiritual way with people. With like it's ridiculous, man. Right? It could be little things, you know. So I'm gonna read that again. It says, "Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Right now, it's spiritual wickedness. Yeah, things may come up physically, but when that time comes, Jacob's trouble, when that fifth seal open, you're gonna see it. You know, you're gonna see it. Everything is gonna manifest. The only thing you can do is, have faith in the Lord. You know, Lord willing, your spirit built up. But it's spiritual wickedness right now. Right now, we in the spiritual warfare. Sooner or later, it's gonna be, is gonna be, you know, first person, right? So let's get Jeremiah 50 and 2, right? Just to finish on that. It says, "Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Mordak is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces." Because the gods of America is not going to save you. All these idols that they worship is not going to save you. You got Jake worshiping all these, you know, just the nigger spirituals and what's his name? I think his name 19 Keys or something like that, and Dr. Umar and damn Islam to the Buddhism and all this. The Lord is going to destroy all that. When the Lord put the spirit on Putin to push the button, it's over with. Soon as that button get pushed, Mordak, Baal, all the Canaanite gods, all the Greek gods, all the Roman gods, they're going to get killed. They're going to get destroyed. The Baphomet, all that is going to get destroyed. Everything, all the spirits that America's withholding and put as a high pedestal, is going to get destroyed. Verse 3, it says, for out of the north there cometh a nation against her, right? Which shall make her desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, right? It says they shall depart, both man and beast, right? And who is that out of the north? Russia, right? And the Lord is using this same geographical location because, yes, America is considered as the land of the north, but they that further country in the north. And who was that further country against Babylon that came and destroyed them? The Persian and the Medes, right? So the Lord is using that same context into America, man. The same thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. History repeats itself. Kingdoms are split. They kingdom split. You got the EU, NATO, then in Rome, you got the Eastern Empire, the Western Empire. All these kingdoms just divided, since in the ancient world. The same thing. America's doing the same thing. It don't get no plainer than that. And then if you deny it, that means that you just love this place. You want to continue to freak off. You actually don't want to change. You still want to drive that Cybertruck. It's ugly. That Cybertruck is ugly, man. That Cybertruck is disgusting. Right? So the Lord is using that same geographical location context to apply to this prophecy. So they coming out of the north, right? And he said, let's read that again. Because when the Lord say something, it be clear. I know speaking of myself too, we got to check ourselves. We all got to check ourselves. When the Lord say something in his Bible, it's plain. So if you do the opposite or believe that it's not going to happen, you're out of your mind. You out of your mind. You losing your mind. It says, for out of the north there cometh a nation against her. It says, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove. It says they shall remove. The Lord said, hey, these nations that I'm going to send against y'all, they're going to move y'all. Damn ludicrous, man. Move, get out the way. That's literally what's going to happen. That's why Putin don't put. That's why he like, man, look, man, you need to stop. Like, you need to cut it out. Y'all going to get wiped out in 10 seconds, man. 5 seconds. Stop playing. China, they cut it out, man. They hey, look, this is nothing but this is gang violence right now. We watching, but they like to say we the gang members. They like to say we the thugs. You out here building missiles. You go ahead.
Hey, and it's like, just because it's a country, that don't make it a gang or something. Like, if you got enough people, it's not a gang no more. You can't claim it as that. If they ain't come from the hood, if they ain't got no block to claim, but you got countries gang banging on each other, and you gotta.
Yeah, they gang banging on it. They sending threats. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Hey, don't you know I reflect? Don't you that how Jake is? He be like, yeah, they was shooting, but they ain't hit me though. That's what Putin was saying to Trump. He literally said that. They gang banging, man. They thugs. Just with more ammo, right? More tech, That's madness. The Lord said they shall remove, they shall depart. The Lord said they shall depart, both man and beast. So who the Lord was talking about was Russia, man. Right? And who the Lord sent using this same context was, obviously is America, but that Persian and Medes what came against Babylon and turned them down. Knocked them off in 539 BC. Cut them right off. They shall remove. See that? Right? Let's go to let's drop down to verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, and assemble an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. So when that time come, we all gonna know when that time come. We reading out of the Bible. We gonna know when that time come, unless you distracted. But when they set themselves in array, right? It says, right, set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Meaning that these arrows, the missiles that they're going to send out, it's not going to turn back. It's not going to be in vain. It's going to be for a purpose. Everything that the Lord is doing, the judgments, or all the prophecies, all the thing that's taking place is for a purpose. So what's your purpose? Is it to be destroyed or everlasting life? Right? It said, I'm gonna read that last part again. It said, none shall return in vain. They shall not return in vain, man. They experts in war. When it says expert, it says, let me read that again, man. It says, their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. So picture a man, he's crafty with the sword. He sharpens his own sword. He gets his ammo ready. That's like looking, right? In modern day times, the brother taking his gun out, he cleaning his gun, then put it back into pieces, right? He making sure his bulletproof vest is nice. Can a bulletproof vest actually take a bullet? He put it on, he get shot. An expert man, he making sure everything is set for battle, man. In the ancient world, they made everything set for battle. The shields, the buckler, the helmets, you know, they braided their hair. We braided our hair. Going to war. Absalom didn't do that, but you know, that was all of the Most High. You know, we braided our hair to make sure our sword is sharp. Make sure we get counsel before we go to war. That's literally what's going on. Said expert man. Oh man. So the Lord is the Lord not playing, man. Right? So what I want? Let me see. All right. Well, let me bump that down through the spirit. You know, just through the sake of time. Right. So I'm gonna go to verse. I'm gonna drop down to verse. Right. I'm gonna read verse 10. I'm gonna just read verse 10. It says, and Chaldea shall be spoiled, all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. So when America get destroyed, when these nations destroy America, they're gonna be satisfied. Right? When the Persian Medes destroyed Babylon, they was satisfied. They was yeah. They cheering, that's literally what's gonna happen. So let's jump down. I'm gonna jump down to verse 42, right? Jump down to verse 42 in the spirit. Verse 42, it says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel, right? Just going into how fierce, Russia, China, Ukraine, Iran. They're showing how fierce they are. Because when all these kingdoms realize, like, you know what? Y'all the problem. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all got y'all hands in everything. You're helping me, you're helping them. You stop helping me, then you help me. All type of madness, man. It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not shew mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Who's the daughter of Babylon? America. The Lord is not showing no mercy to America. These nations is not going to show no mercy to America. Russia is not going to show no mercy to America. Ultimately, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is not going to show mercy to America. Why? Because they're holding us in captivity. They have the elect in captivity. They're trying to seduce them, trying to make them be disobedient, trying to stir their paths into darkness. right? So it's no mercy that's going to be shown, right? So we can go to it's a lot on this, man. But due to the you know sake of time, let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 4, right? 50 verse 4, right? Right. So verse 4 it says, "In those days, right, and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their God." This is, in the last days. This is the last days. The last days and during Jeremiah, right? Verse 5, it says, "They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place." Our people forgot their resting place. We rest in other things. You may catch yourself resting in other things. And you have to remember, like, oh man, this is not my resting place. Because it's not actually true rest. Y'all know when y'all go to sleep, you sleep on the couch. Yeah, you may think you slept good, but you could feel like, nah, I should have been in that bed. On a little level through the spirit, that's how it is. That's not your resting place, right? Verse 7, "All that found them have devoured them, and their adversary said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers." Right? That's it. It says, we offend not. It said, I'm gonna read that again. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversary said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord. Like the Pope praying to Yahweh Shah, asking for repentance. That's how you know through the spirit, they know that their time is coming. You take us, brainwash us, got our gold, our images all in a basement, statues, and you praying to our God. Yeah, see, they not keeping your commandments. They don't love you. See, I'm doing it. That's not gonna happen, man. It said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Right? That's all. Right? Verse 8, it says, Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees, and be as the he goats, the flocks. So just like when the brother brought out Revelations 18:4, it's been brought out in Jeremiah. He's telling you, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of Chaldees. We got to get out of this place, man, spiritually. We got to keep purging, keep washing, and keep enduring, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because even if you may be in this truth, yeah, you got on fringes. You may read, you may pray from time to time. You need to pray more. You may fast, study, go to camp. But for some reason, you get that, you still have a spiritual attachment to the world, to America. Just it may not be as what like Jake, but you still there. It's a I won't say it's a thin line, but it's a crack in the window. It's a crack in the window, and it's a nice breeze. You know that breeze that make you go to sleep. You don't want to go to sleep. Once you go to sleep, it's over with. It's done for. You don't want to take no power nap, because that power nap can turn you wake up in the morning. Just imagine you going to work. Picture this, you going to work, man. You're going to work. Now you at work. You on lunch break. I want to take a nap. Because you're feeling good. You like, man, cool. You go to sleep. You wake up. You wake up when it's time for you to clock out. Hey, it's over with, man. You go.
Hey, that literally happened to me before. That happened this year. I'm gonna say it real quick, and then you got it, bro. While I went in the bathroom at work, I'm tired. Like the brother's going into right now. That's the spirit. I went to sleep. Let's say I get off at work at 3:30. I went to sleep. I got off break maybe 2 o'clock, bro. I'm like, you know what? That break wasn't long enough. Let me just go, go in this stall, sit down, lay my hand on my head, lay my head on my hands. Man, I got woke up. It was almost 3 o'clock. I'm just knowing they in there looking. Oh, where's such and such at? He ain't at his workstation. And I'm telling you, ever slept so good you forgot where you was at? You know, hey, you don't want to do that spiritually, man, because hey, you might wake up. It might be over with, but you got it.
Yeah, man. That's scary. You in the car, you wake up, it's dark, you damn parking lot empty. That's what it is through the spirit, man. You know, you still got that. It's a crack in the window. You don't want to do that. The breeze coming in, you sleep, wake up, next thing you know, all hell breaking loose. You know, you got the truth. So we gotta check us. Hey, Jeremiah, right? The Lord is speaking through Jeremiah. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, man. Right? We gotta flee out of this place, man. Right? Let's drop down to verse 11. Right? It says, right, we wind it down. It says, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, or ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls, right? So the Lord is speaking about, America wax fat off rape, rob, murder, do all manner of wickedness. They wax fat, man. Look at them. They on the left hand side, they're rich. Look what's going on. Look at Amazon, all the Popeyes and the McDonald's, all the Gucci's, all the Jordans. It's robbery. Everything that we own, they robbed us. Everything that we make, they robbed us. Everything that we invent, they robbed us and claim it as theirs. They wax fat, man. Right? Verse 12, it says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Right? So America and the place where America's come from is going to be destroyed. Right? The Lord is just gonna just demolish this place, man. All the things that when everything gets bombed, right? All the things that you so-called love to do in this place is gonna be erased. Think about that. Imagine no phones, no internet, video games, the sports, all that is gonna be gone. And that should feel good to think that. It should feel good to say that too, because you don't want to be in this place, man. The Lord is going to kill it, right? It says your mother shall be sore confounded. Right, verse 13, it said, because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Right, verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bid the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Right? Right? It says, shout against her round about, she hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Hey, they got to drink of that cup. So this is going to be vengeance for the Lord. Let's get Romans chapter 12, right? Romans chapter 12, verse 19, it says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, right? It says, for it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Vengeance is the Lord's, man. It's of the Lord's. Lord say, chill. Relax. Hold on. Vengeance is mine, man. I got this. Just watch. I'm in control, man. Just watch. I got you. And I'm gonna let you get your licks in. Chill. You know, the Lord said, for it is the vengeance of the Lord, take vengeance upon her as she have done do unto her. So all the things that the so-called white man done, all the things that the other nations did to Israel, to the Hebrew Israelites, to the elect, the 1/3, hey, guess what? It's gonna be done unto them. Worse. They gotta drink of that cup, man. And that's a big cup too. And the Lord is letting it fill all the way up to the top. Right, let's get that. So I can find that quick precept through the spread. Right. Then if you got some, go ahead. Let's see if I can find it. Most I willing. Most I willing. All right. Let's see. Should be first Maccabees.
I can get in there right quick while you looking for your precept.
Go ahead, dog.
All right, let me get Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. Right? Because we got to really understand that there is no escaping. There's no escaping. Like the brother said, they got to drink of that cup. It literally says, if they have done, let it be done unto them. Think about it. Even before America was officially a country, the things they've been doing since the 1600s, the early 1700s, what is that? 400 and some years worth of that cup being filled up. You think they're gonna escape from 400 plus years of filling their cup up of all the rape, all the murder, all the robbing, all the lying, all the enslaving? Hey, go back and watch some of these slave movies. We know it's Hollywood, we know it's acting, but art imitates life. Look at some of the stuff they used to do to us. Hey, to make dentures, they used to knock out the slaves' teeth to make dentures for themselves. You think they gave them anesthetic before they knocked their teeth out and did that? You think they apologized for snatching your kids from them and selling them? Let's say you was in Georgia, they sold your kids to somebody in Florida. You never seen them again. Your kids were so young when they sold them that even if you ran into them as an adult, you wouldn't even know that was your kids. Think about that. Imagine you met your kids 20, 30 years later. You didn't even know they was your kids. Because that's how little they was when they got taken away from you. You don't even know what they look like. You think they getting away with that? You sadly mistaken. Let me get Sirach chapter 10, and I want verse 8, not 4. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. America has to fall because of the unrighteous dealings. How long we been hearing this 40 acres and a mule cliche? Hey, didn't they tell us, I can't remember which president that was. I don't want to be making up stuff. Didn't they tell us Harriet Tubman was going on a $20 bill? What happened to that? They lied about that too. Unrighteous dealings. It also says, what does it say? Injuries. How many injuries did they cause to get this land? What did they do to the Native Americans, to our fellow Gadites and Reubenite brothers, who are children of Israel also? The Native Americans. I mean, they wiped out 90 plus million of them. Like that number is so large that people can't even fathom it. What they try to get us to remember, the quote unquote 6 million quote unquote Jews that died during the Holocaust. Let's just say that happened. Okay, for every one fake Jew that died in the Holocaust, 15 Native Americans died for every one. For every one fake Jew that died in the Holocaust, 15 Native Americans died in America when they came and took this land from them. To this day, they keep teaching us about the Holocaust. When a 15 times greater massacre occurred to God's chosen people, what would you do if you found out that somebody killed your child? How would you feel about that? How much more so the Most High God, who sees all things? We brought it out earlier in Sirach 16 and 17. It's people who think, oh, the Most High can't see me. It's too many people. I'm just little old me. I'm just Mawasar. How can the Lord see me? When he created you. They are so proud. I'm going to read Sirach 10 and verse 7. Watch this. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both does one commit iniquity. How prideful do you have to be to think that, oh, I was created by the Lord, I can hide from him? Insanity. You think you can hide from your own creator? You sadly mistaken. And that's why I say in Proverbs chapter 16, let me get that. And if you find your precept, I can break it off. It's Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Who's more prideful? Look at Donald Trump. I want you to show me a more prideful president than Donald Trump. I mean, when he talk, it's just so arrogant, so pompous. I mean, he walk like he just floating above. He talks like he's just floating above the rest of us. Oh, we did this, this, and that. We're so amazing. Go us. I mean, he patting himself on the back every time he talk. And the Lord just hearing all of it. Just hearing all of it. They think that America will be the one empire who hasn't fallen, and that's pride. You can't name one kingdom on the planet that hasn't fallen, but America is going to be the first one. Hey, even people who don't read the Bible, they heard of Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to them for being freaky, being lustful? You think America is going to escape that judgment? And that was 5 cities. Let me look this up. How many cities are in America? If the Lord rained fire and brimstone on 5 cities for being freaked out, it says there are nearly 20,000 cities, towns, and villages in the United States. Now, if God would destroy 5 cities for being evil, what would he do to 20,000? And that's why I call it the great whore that sit on many waters. The great whore. Everybody has fun. Hey, America is wide open, as they say nowadays. America loose. America's fast. You know, they used to call little girls fast when we were growing up. America is fast. They'll get down with anybody for $1. Anybody. They at war with China right now, but China owns American soil because America will sell it to anybody, just like a whore. You got that price, America will sell it to you. They'll say, hey, America will sell you drugs. They did it with Freeway Ricky Ross. If you don't know that story, hey, research that. The CIA admitted to it. Freeway Rick Ross, that money that he was making, the U.S. government was taking that to fund a war in Nicaragua. Drug money. Yes, your U.S. government was using drug money to fund the war. You can look it up. You ain't got to believe me. Research Freeway Rick Ross. These things happen. We're not just making it up. We didn't write I didn't write Jeremiah 50. I didn't write the book of Sirach chapter 10. That wasn't me. It been here way before me. It was here before America. And that's what makes the words even more true These things were written before America was even a country officially. Why does everything we read line up with America if it's not about America? That don't make sense. All right, you got that precept?
It's not the one I wanted, but it's saying the same thing though. All praise to the
No,
Most High.
you go ahead, bring that up.
Because yeah, so hey, the brothers bring it out. You know, all the things that America has done is gonna be the same thing done to them, but worse. And the Lord literally waited for their sins to reach unto the heavens. The Lord is waiting to gather all their sins and like, okay, yeah. Once it reached to that height, hey, that's scary, man. The Lord building up a case, just how the FBI, right? The CIA and they build up a case, man. That's why Dirk's locked up. That's why Young Thug was locked up. That's why you what was that? The YSL or something like that? Something like that. That's why they was locked up because they had cases built on them. The brother from Texas that killed Mo3, I forgot his name. They built a case on him, man. That's what the Lord is doing. Right. So Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So America's sins is reaching up to heaven, and the Lord is doing that just so he can destroy them, building up a case. So you did this, okay, you did that. Just imagine the Lord have a list of all the things America has done, the so-called white man. Hey, imagine a list of the things that you have done to the Lord. You know. So hey, all the vengeance, that vengeance from the Lord, hey, is everything that Esau has done is gonna happen to him. It's gonna happen to you. You know, the Lord's bullets have a name on it. See that? Right, but we're gonna wind down through the spirit though. Most I willing, we could do a part two, Lord willing. It's a lot of meat on this bone, man. Right, but we gonna yeah, I'm gonna read one more verse. Right, it says verse 16. It says, cut off the sower from Babylon and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. Right? It's speaking about race wars, right? And cut off the sword from Babylon, meaning there's not going to be no employment, there's not going to be no food, it's not going to be no clothing, no, all that's going to be destroyed. And when it says they shall turn everyone to his own people, that's race. It's going to be race wars going on, right? Like it. It's going to be race wars going on, right? It may be your own foes going against you, but best believe, hey, it's going to be race wars. The Lord said it himself. You see it slowly approaching anyway, the protests, you see it. Brawls. At that time, brawls be happening because they be with drunk. Little bar. It ain't gonna be no little bar fights when this day come. When all hell break loose. It's not finna be no bar fights and you fight and then you get in the car, go home, put ice on your face. No. It's gonna be bloodshed, screaming, right? People taking your kids, busting windows. There's gonna be a lot going on, right? But brother ain't got nothing. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Lord willing, you was edified, right, through the spirit of the Lord. America will fall. Lord really make a part two. America will fall. And knowing this should bring a lot of joy, right? But you got something.
I'm gonna end it off with this one precept. I'm gonna go to Romans 13 and verse 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Our salvation is right there. It's right there. It's not the time to go to sleep. Not the time to go to sleep. You know how you kind of doze off, your eyes getting heavy. Hey, you got to get up. You might have to splash some water on your face spiritually. Do whatever you got to do. Pinch yourself. It is not the time to fall asleep, man. It is not the time to fall asleep. World War III can kick off at any second. Or it could heat up. It could get real hot at any second, I should say. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Kwam Yasharallah and Shalom.
Shalom.